Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Lean Six Sigma for everyone. Today I'm going to cover the white belt program in Lean Six Sigma. So let's get started. We will have the following agenda in white belt program. We will know the lean definition, Six Sigma definition, Lean and Six Sigma, benefits of Six Sigma. We will know the Sigma history and the levels of Six Sigma, the roles and responsibilities in Lean Six Sigma, and we will understand the Lean importance in flow, Lean principles, 8 type of waste. We will understand the Lean tools and techniques, and we will talk about the DMAIC model, define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So each one we will talk about it in this session today. So let's get started. What is lean? So in a very layman term, if I have to tell you, lean is to remove or eliminate waste from the process. Any activities which are non-value add to the business or to customer, from the customer perspective, that does not creating any value for the customer is a waste. And lean focuses on removing the waste from the processes, from the organization, so that the process become more efficient and more effective. Okay, let's talk about the Six Sigma. What is Six Sigma? So Six Sigma is a disciplined data-driven approach and a method that aims to eliminate defects in process. It focuses on removing, controlling the variance in the process. So that is Six Sigma. So if we combine both, so like we talked about, lean focuses on removing waste, eliminating waste. Six Sigma focus on variation reduction in the process, defects reduction in the process. When we club it together, this becomes Lean Six Sigma, and this is a very comprehensive tools and strategy program in today's current time. That is the most effective one to improve any processes, to improve any business. Therefore, if you look at all the organizations, topmost MNCs, they will have this process excellence, business transformation team, which focuses on the process and project improvements. So helps to improve the efficiency and the quality of process by reducing waste. That is the Lean Six Sigma approach. Okay, and what benefits it will yield when you do a Lean Six Sigma program projects in your organization? So it will get you n number of results, n number of outputs. It will reduce total defects or errors, reduce waste, bring the standardized approach in the organization, brings the quality of the process, quality of the product, reduce the cost, reduce the cost of the product, reduce the cycle time, improve the company and company's brand value. So lot of things it does. It helps in growing the talent of the organization, individuals. When you work on and understand this whole concept of Lean Six Sigma, the tools, techniques, method, and you know where and what to apply them, you are enhancing your level of understanding on this. And therefore we have this journey, right, in Lean Six Sigma. It starts from the white, yellow, green belt, black belt, and master black belt. So today we are talking about the first foundation of the Lean Six Sigma program, white belt program. I will come up with another further levels of the program soon. So let's move ahead with the Lean Six Sigma and history. So here we see It's all started, in back in 1900 with the improvement in the Ford assembly line, and then Toyota production is a very classic example of process improvement and continuous improvement. And then we had massive improvements in the Japan, and maximum words when you look at from the, or tools if you look at from the Lean Six Sigma world, it's coming from Japan terms like our 3M, Muda, Mura, Muri, based on Japanese term, Kaizen, that signifies the continuous improvements. Kai means good, and Zen means change. So good change, that means you find the small opportunities and grab it and work on that and improve the process. So this is this journey, this is the history of the Lean Six Sigma, how we evolved over a period of time. Let's move on to the Six Sigma certification levels and objectives. So right now what we are covering today is the white belt program. This is a foundation program, the first level of the Lean Six Sigma programs levels. So in this one, the white belt, this covers the concepts of lean, concept of Six Sigma, and provides the basic understanding and the foundation, how the overall program is, how it can help the organization, how it can help the individuals to improve the process, and what tools and what process and how the concept need to be looked at, and what things need to be covered in this thing we cover in the white belt. In next level, yellow belt, we go one step further. We cover some problem solving techniques, we increase the number of tools, we do a detailed project and we do a detailed tools explanation which are necessary for the process improvement. And the next level is a green belt. In green belt program, we cover more comprehensive level of the tools, techniques that is required on the green belt level. And green belt level, you will start getting the expertise to drive projects, to start doing finding the areas of improvement, and you can start assisting within the organization to the projects or the black belts in the organizations. So the next level that we have on this is a black belt. Black belt are considered as experts and the change agents who are fully aware about the concepts and the tools and methods of the Lean Six Sigma, and they start identifying and opportunities and start training the staff and providing the necessary assistance and coaching as and when required by the white belt, yellow belt or green belt program. Then next level we have is master black belt. This is the highest level of the Six Sigma. So at this level you will be focusing on the strategy level as a overall, what level of KPIs, metrics of the business line or organization level, what is required, how the to come up with the portfolios, to how to set up the portfolio improvement. Lot of big things happen at this stage. So these are the levels of the Lean Six Sigma certifications and the objectives. Let's move on to the Six Sigma certification level. So that, like we talk about, white belt is starting journey of the starting the level of the Lean Six Sigma, and then we have yellow belt followed by green belt, black belt and master black belt. Okay, so today we are covering the white belt program. Once you complete white belt, you are fully understand the Lean and Six Sigma concepts. You are ready to go for yellow belt program. Let's move on to roles and responsibilities in Lean Six Sigma. Project leader works with all the stakeholders and seek out the necessary resources required for the project completion. Process owner is accountable for overall performance and the process improvement of the respective area. Financial partner is providing the finance assistance necessary or required for the project. The coach is the Lean Six Sigma experts who provides the governance, who provides the assistance in necessary assistance to complete the Lean Six Sigma project. Champion is a senior authority in Lean Six Sigma who provides the strategic directions and guidelines to the team. Project sponsor is the senior leadership who provides the necessary financials and assistance and responsible for overall program success. One very important role that we have in Lean Six Sigma is the members' involvement. So the agent, operator, representative, executive, whoever who's actually working on a product, services or offering are the member who are the mostly closest to the process, who knows the process in and out, and their importance in overall program and project success is very critical. Therefore, I have put this slide separately. If you look at the operator is the closest, that person who works day in day out on the process, on the work or services. He is the one who knows the process, he's the one who is aware about the loopholes, he is the one who are aware about the strengths and weaknesses of the process, right? And who can provide the most valuable inputs. And speed to react, right? The fastest to give the inputs, fastest to provide and work on the process. Knowledge, right? No one else can have the better process knowledge than the person who is working on that process on daily basis. So that's where this operator involvement in the project is very necessary and very, very important. And if you look at the approach, the lean approach, right? Lean approach is to empower and coach people. There is no as such hierarchy level you strictly have to follow, because that can hinder sometimes the growth of the process opportunity or improvement opportunity of the process. So here the lean approach is very systematic in a way that whoever can contribute to the success of the project come forward and work as a team. Let's move on to the next lean principles. So we talked about the lean focus on removing waste, eliminating waste from the processes. It has 5 core lean principles, starting with value. This is the most important one, because you have to think from the customer perspective. Whatever services, offering, product you are going to build, you are creating it, does have the value for customer, or is that customer ready to pay for that value or not? Because that is the very important question. If the customer is not ready to pay for that services that you are going to offer, then that going to be waste. So very important is you are coming up the product, services, offering or anything that has the value for the customer and that customer is ready to pay for that value. Second one in the principle that we have is value stream. So for any product, any services, any offerings, for anything, you will have the entire steps, the entire activities. So that is the value stream. So make sure that the necessary steps is created, necessary to perform of creating the value or creating the services or the product for the customer. The third principle that we have is the flow. Flow is a process optimization. So make sure all the steps that or activities that we have in production or a service or offerings all are optimized in a well and synchronized manner, that it does not interrupt or create roadblocks which lead to a waste in the process. The fourth principle we have is pull. So pull focuses on the requirement and produced the products, services, offerings as per the customer requirement and not creating too much of inventory, not creating too much of backlogs. Fifth principle that we have is perfection. So it's strive for perfections. It means that lean focuses on continuous improvement. You can achieve 5% of improvement in the process, and later on there is another possibility of some improvement and another possibility of some improvement. So it does emphasize on the continuous improvement. It should not happen that you have done a one time of improvement in your process and you say no, now we are done with the project and there is no further possibility in the future. There will always be the possibility that you can look out for, and that's where the continuous improvement comes into picture. So focus is on reduction of errors and improvement in the efficiency. So these are the lean principles. Let's talk about the most common 8 types of waste. These 8 types of waste exist in any process, any organization, and today's session will help you to understand which type of waste exists in your current process, your current processes or project and program. So let's get into the details. So most common 8 types of waste that we have, and we commonly call it as downtime. So here D represents as defect, O as in overproduction, W as in waiting, N as in non-utilized talent, T as in transportation, I as in inventory, M as in motion, E as in extra processing. Let's deep dive into each segment and understand how it impacts the business and processes. So the first one is defect. The defects are directly waste for any process. Therefore, all the organizations in the world, they try to minimize the defects, eliminate the defects. And what are the defects? Any product, services, offering which are not meeting the customer requirement are a defects. Very important that defects are minimized so that the wastages is not occurring in a high amount. And these defects are not only creates the waste in the process, that's also very dangerous for any organization, because that can impact their brand value, their market value. These are very important, So let's move on to the another type of waste, overproduction. How come the overproduction can be a waste in the process? So it could be a good thing, right? If I supposed to produce 10, let's say, and I produced 15, isn't a good thing? No, that's not a good thing, because when customer demands only 10 product and you produce 15, that means you are overproduced 5 items and customer is only going to buy 10. So 5 will be end up as a waste, or it goes into inventory, and you have to maintain on inventory, and lot of time, resources and energy will go. You never know when those products will be sold and what cost. If I give you example, right, if you look at the COVID time of situation, The entire supply chain services were got disrupted. The entire production was got disrupted. At that time, if you get into a situation, you have product to sell and nobody is buying, right, due to the external factors, then your product will become a direct type of waste. So not to go with overproduction, it has to be aligned with demand and supply, right? So very important to follow the pull method here. So pull method is produce as per the customer demand, and we can call it in another tool that we can use it from the lean to eliminate overproduction, that is just in time, right? Just in time approach is to eliminate the inventory and produce what is required. So that all we will cover later in another session. Okay, so let's move on to our next inline, waiting. Waiting is another type of waste. So in any processes, in any organization, any business, for any reason, if things are waiting to happen for XYZ reason, that's a waste. For example, you are waiting your internet connectivity to get stored so that you can start functioning. Till the time you are waiting means you are unproductive, you are not doing anything, that is a waste. Or some breakdown happened, some maintenance things happened. In that way, you are waiting things to recover, things to be normalized, and then you will start functioning. There are many types of waiting you can have in the organization, and you need to find those. What are those waiting that leading to waste in the organization? If I have to tell you a tool which can help you to identify and eliminate or reduce waste, is you can go for value stream mapping. So when you break down your process into a flow or the steps, then you can easily understand in which step or which activity you have more waiting time, and then you can start looking out for solutions. Alright, so please make sure that you are not having too much of wait time in your process. Any kind of services you are offering, be it's a ticket, it's a call, or it's a report to go, any type of waiting to happen is a waste. So make sure that you are not contributing something from your side, that somebody is waiting some report or some data, some email to go from you, and then only they get into action. So that person is waiting. So we have to think from that perspective that it's leading to a wastage. So we have to work on eliminating wherever is possible. So let's move on to the another type of waste that can happen in any organization, is non-utilized talent. So what is non-utilized talent or not utilized talent? So many times we can see or experience in the organization, we put some team member on some task which are not their interest area, not their expertise area. So the contribution to that task is very minimum, as well as their interest and their their interest goes away from, because so many associates or many team members at times put on the task and roles or responsibility, they are not having sorry. So not utilizing talent. So many times we have seen in, and you might have experience as well, you put some team members, high skilled team members, I'll say, to a very low level of work. So in that way, what happens is the expertise of their level is not used in a rightful manner, and that lead to a dissatisfaction, that lead to the churn out, that lead to waste in the organization. Very important is identifying the resources capability and aligning the job and roles accordingly. This is very important thing in the organization. All right, so make sure, if you are a team leader, you are a manager, you are in a leadership role in your team, you are assigning the task according to the people's skill set. That will help them, team members, to learn and grow. And sometimes it do happens that team members are without the task, without the responsibility. So that could also happen. So the proper work allocation is required in this case. Somebody is very much loaded with the work, some people are not loaded with the work. So this need to be balanced, very important, so that you are not having the not utilized people, not utilized talent, because it's not working in their working algorithm and not giving them any experience. Very important, just not keeping people because of okay. All right, so let's move on to the next type of waste that we have is transportation. Anything which in transportation is another type of waste, because someone is waiting for something to come through the transportation and then only the work can happen. So till the time it's taking more time for transportation, it's a waste. So the many organizations, business, they try to minimize the transportation as much as possible, because they know transportation increases the waiting time, increases the TAT time. So, and the customer today are demanding, right? We know what level of services now companies are offering. You can take an example as Amazon. They are offering the delivery same day, within 24 hours, within 18 hours, 10 hours. So much of within limited time, they are delivering the product, services. So just think about it, how much they have optimized their waiting, transportation, and another type of process, another type of activities. So they have eliminated maximum waste from their processes, because without doing so, they cannot deliver the product within 24 hours, within 18 hours, within 10 hours. Just imagine, right? Those products comes from far away and comes from the warehouses, godowns that have to connect with the plant to warehouse to the boarding points, and then transportation, then again deboarding of the luggages or the items, then goes to again back to warehouse, and again from there distribute for the customer delivery. Lot of activities, lot of steps are involved. Despite that, delivery gets done within 24 hours, 18 hours, 10 hours, 5 hours. Just an example of lean approach, lean Six Sigma approach. So very important in your organization, in your process, if you see that something taking away too much time in transportation, you have to think what can be done better. And Lean Six Sigma provides many tools, many methods, many different approaches that you can come up with this out of this transportation wastage. You can work on the better layout, you can work on the better flow, you can work on the better optimization of your work streams, so that the transportation things gets reduced. All right, I hope this is useful for you, that these tools you can use it to minimize the transportation wastages. Let's move on to the next type of waste, that is inventory, excessive inventory, right? So anything which is in inventory is a waste until it is sold. So very, very important, try to minimize the inventory as much as possible, because keeping inventory again needs a lot of efforts, resources, maintenance, right? So much money will spend on maintaining warehouses, maintaining products, taking care some this product should not get wasted due to the weather, due to the some climate or some other reasons. So a lot of maintenance activities are involved till the time product is sold. So if you keep minimum inventory in hand, so what will happen is you are not worried much about the market situation, right? You know that you are maintaining a rightful inventory as per the demand, as per the market need. So make sure that inventory is well aligned with your demand. It should not happen that you are having too much of excessive inventory, that will lead to your wastage and impact your working capital. So let's move on to the next type of waste, which is a motion waste. So how come motion waste can impact the organization? So again, any services, any product, any parts, if that is in motion, right, and if you have to move around too much to get that thing done, that's a waste. For example, you need a parts, okay, and that parts is coming from some distance. So every time you go and get the parts, you are consuming time, so you're wasting time. Instead of that, if the layout or your system or your availability of the parts are nearest to you, so what will happen is, if it is near to your workstation or workplace, what will happen is you do not have to move much around, so it will be helping you to reduce motion. In a very layman example, if I had to tell you, wherever you are sitting right now or standing right now, maybe in a room, in a cabin, right? So if you look at from one corner to another corner of the room, there are many ways to reach, right? You can go straight, you can take right, you can take left, you can take right, left, and then you can reach, or you can go circle, entire circle, and reach to the another corner. There are many ways that you can reach to the corner. So what will happen is, some ways will be more effective and direct reaching it, reducing the motion, and some are taking more motion. So very important is we are focusing on the approach where motion is not involved, and we are reducing the time involved in the motion. So, and this is very, very important for manufacturing and the inventory or the parts where it's all involved, that is very critical. Okay, so reducing motion is important. If you look at the plant, if you look at the manufacturing units, they're spread in a kind of big location. So movement from parts, movement of materials, goods from one place to another place, if it is not properly located, not properly layout, so it will lead to a lot of motion and it consumes times and it's a waste. So very very important is that the layout, the system process is so systematic that everything is available as near as possible. Now if you look at the car assembly line or vehicle assembly line, now you will notice maximum things will be around, right? Now many of the manufacturing things have been automated. Why? Because they have been kept at the same place, but major parts are being assembled in assembly line because all are being kept at one place. If you go back to 30-40 years back, that time the manufacturing of those vehicles used to take more time because motion was more involved. One work was happening one place, the another parts or another things are manufacturing at other place, so that was used to create lot of motion. Now we have seen those motion got reduced, but still in some or other form the motion do exist in many processes and organization. So very important to identify those opportunities and work on tools or system which can help you to eliminate that. All right, so let's move on to the next one in our waste process. So our next one is excessive processing. So what is excessive processing and why it is a waste? So excessive processing, which is also called as a gold plating, so means the product services offering that you are doing already meeting a customer requirement, but you are going ahead and adding more things to it, which is direct or indirect cost to the product or to your process, your organization, and not creating additional value. So that is a excessive processing. For example, if customer wants one product to buy, and for customer for that product value is $100, let's take an example, $100 for a customer is a value for that product. Now how much you go back and try to decorate, make a fancy out of that product, the customer is not ready to pay you more than 100 at any level. So very important is here you follow the steps, that you are not ending up putting up extra efforts, putting up extra cost, extra hours for the same thing. So it will be a loss for the process, it will be a loss for the organization. So make sure you are not ending up doing the excessive processing, which will lead to a waste in the process. Let's move on to the understanding the lean importance and what lean does. So if you look at this image, what you see, when we start delivering the value, right, something as in product, as in services, as an offering, whatever stream you are in, whatever business line you are in, whatever segments you are in, you are offering some value to the end customer. And when you are trying to offer that value, you might see certain roadblocks. It could be anything, it depends and vary from processes to processes, organizations to organization, and business to business. It could be different type of challenges. Not necessary you can have the similar challenges as the other process. So, but you will face these obstacles, you will see these roadblocks in order to deliver the same value to the customer. So what happens is these roadblocks will take away the maximum value what should go to the customer, and customer end of the day paying for the value and should get the value what the customer deserves. What lean does is lean helps you to identify and remove the roadblocks. It provides you different tools, methods, approach, and best practices that can help you to understand your process, to know which particular tool you need to apply in order to reduce or eliminate those roadblocks in delivering the highest value to your customer. In lean we have many tools, many techniques, many method approach to improve the process, to remove the waste. Starting with Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese term that translates into continuous improvement. Kai means good, Zen is change, so it's about good change, and it provides and look out for the incremental change over time to improve process, product or services. It focuses on small change to improve the process. So it focuses on small step by step for the continuous improvement. It looks like your staircase. You take one step at a time, and you reach your destination, or you reach to the top of the staircase. So similar way Kaizen helps the organization, Kaizen helps the services, products to find those small opportunities and improve the process and keep improving it. Continuous improvement. 5S method is originated from Japan. It focuses on creating efficient and effective workspace. This also helps in removing waste and provide a high quality work. In my opinion, 5S is the one of the best continuous improvement tool in Lean Six Sigma. We have 5 steps in 5S method, starting with sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Let's deep dive into each one. Sort. Reduce clutter and unnecessary items by sorting your services, your products, your materials, your parts, what you're offering. So whatever stream you are in, right? This sorting process is very much necessary. So when you do this helps you to save the time by locating the items easily, minimize the distractions, simplify the process, and increase the available space and safety. So let's move on to the next one, set in order. Set in order helps organize items for efficient use. This helps in streamlining the workflows, enhance the accessibility, improve safety by eliminating obstacles. Shine. Maintain cleanliness and order. Very important to regularly clean workspace, tools, equipments, and encourage everyone to participate in this cleaning routines, because safety is everyone's responsibility, and by doing the maintenance or maintaining all these cleanliness, you are not only ensuring your safety but everyone's safety around you. Establish consistent practices. Need to maintain documents, procedures, and guidelines properly. need to train employees on standard practices, and regularly review and update these standards as necessary as per your work stream. This helps in bringing the uniformity in the process, provide the proper training to people, and enhance the efficiency. Very important, when you put across the guidelines, instructions to people, they know what to do and what not to do, do's and don'ts, right? And all these instructions and steps in detail, they know what and how to do the things. And this helps avoiding the wastages from the process, avoid the unnecessary items, movement, and the unnecessary motion from the process. Let's talk about the next one, sustain. And once we have set all things in process, sort, set in order, shine, and standardize, very important to sustain the process, right? Maintain improvement over the long term. Very important that we are not falling back. We are making sure the process control or checks put in a place so that the continuous improvement is happening. Very important to encourage the discipline and adherence to the established procedures and guidelines, and everybody follows it without any deviations. So these will help for the continuous improvement, all ensuring all 4 steps are happening well in line. Let's talk about another tool, that is Poka-Yoke. We call it mistake proofing as well. This tool helps in avoiding waste, typically by eliminating or minimizing quality mistakes that lead to rework and scrap. Also helps in eliminating potential safety issues. You can easily find the Poka-Yoke examples around your surroundings. You can see the red light signals, rail crossing line, right? Those are the mistake proofing where or error proofing that stops you making the mistake. So standard work, also known as standardized work, is the most efficient method to perform a task or series of tasks documented and followed by all in a similar way. The purpose to make sure if there is any variability, to eliminate that, to reduce it, and to have a standard approach towards the production, towards the services, towards the offerings, the same approach. I can give you an example for easy understanding. Let's say any company have a multiple plants in a different geographies. It could be, for if you are coming from a different stream, you can take a example as a service centers or a service desk or a operations center, operations excellence, or a IT desk. So you, whatever services you are coming or the department you are coming, you can take the example likewise. Here for just the easy understanding, I'm taking as a plant example. Let's say you have a plant in a different geography, and one plant product quality is better than the another plant product quality. So what's happening here is, it's a very clear evidence that the standard work approach is not followed. And the other way also, you can say the one plant is taking too much time to produce the product than the another plant. So what's happening is, here the same standard of work is missing. Something is not right and there is a variability in the process. And this standard work approach is to make sure the products, services, and offerings are standard across the geographies, across the company, across the organization. That is very important for any company, any product, as a brand value. because you cannot compromise by geographies or location. If there is a different rules, policies, that's a different thing, but no company wants to compromise on a quality standards. Let's move on to DMAC. DMAC is Six Sigma methodology, provides the 5-step process and project improvement framework. It starts with define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Let's deep dive into each one to understand in detail. Define is the first phase of DMAC. In this phase, you need to come up with the problem statement, define the objective of the Six Sigma project, define the roles and responsibility in the team structure, and very important, you come up with the project charter. In the project charter tool, you need to mention various details like the business case, problem statement, goal statement, scope, and milestones. Very important to keep the thing in mind that the information that you are entering should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound, which is we call it SMART. So you need to follow this approach while entering the business case and entering the details in the project charter. When you are starting up a project, that you are doing a efforts and benefit analysis, right? In another word, cost and benefit analysis. So you need to think what efforts, what time and resources you are going to deploy on the project. The ROI, return on investment, is better than the investment, right? Otherwise your project will not be approved by the sponsors. So you need to prepare yourself beforehand that what is your estimated ROI on the project, because sponsors will be more interested to know what you will achieve by completing this project. So that has to be measurable number. In Lean Six Sigma, we always say if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So very important is you need to measure the numbers that you want to improve. There are many other tools, methods, techniques in define phase that you will be using it. So that will help you to get the current state of the process. You need to build the SIPOC, VOC, CTQ, process map, value stream map, and many more tools that we have in Lean Six Sigma. So in define phase, with the help of certain tools, you will be able to capture the current state of the process. Let's move on to the measure phase. In this phase, very important, you need to gather all the inputs and the data points, and you scrutinize it, validate those data points, check it, the source of the data, and see the current state from where this data is coming. And like I said before, the measurement of the data in Lean Six Sigma is very, very important. So you need to ensure you assess all the data points, you collect the data, required data for the process improvement. We have many tools in measure phase that will help measuring the quality of the data. We have MSA, measurement system analysis, process capability, waste walk, benchmarking, and many more. We will be talking on these tools in detail in our yellow belt or green belt programs. Alright, let's move on to our next phase, analyze phase. So in analyze phase, when you come, you already have done with the current state. In define phase, you have gathered the data in measure phase, and now in analyze phase, what you have gathered as a data points, you will start into analyzing and scrutinizing of the root causes, potentials, problems and solutions, doing the brainstorming with the team members. You have a different approach for doing the root causes or brainstormings, and that we will talk in detail in when we like explain this tools separately or in the yellow belt or green belt programs. So once you analyze the data, you know what the trends are and what things are required for further improvement. So analyze will get you almost closer for the improvement, because it starts giving you the signals what needs to be done and where needs to be done. So let's move on to our next phase, which is an improve phase. In this phase you will start seeing improvement, or you start seeing the trends, upward trends, and you can start correlating with historical data and with the improved data. Here you will do risk assessment, you need to do FMEA, and you need to check again the Six Sigma level, that where you started earlier and where you are in terms of the process capability or Sigma capability. You will again match the your performance data, you will match the process map, that how it was earlier and when it is improved, what steps, what activities being eliminated from the new process map. In improve phase we have some tools like brainstorming and FMEA that will help you to achieve your goal. Let's move on to our next phase, which is control phase. So in this phase, very important is you are coming up with the control plans, checks in place, right? So whatever the progress happened in all these four phases, now you want to make sure that is sustained, and you want to put controls and monitoring in place so that continuous improvement happens and the process does not fall back to prior level. In this process you will create the process checklist, process guidelines, process instructions. You will provide the training to team members with the new process, what is changed, so they know in the process guidelines and process instructions what needs to be done. They know about their roles, their jobs, their tasks, so that the work is sustained, the improvement is sustained. You provide proper training, proper documentations, and you educate everyone about the new changes of the process. That's all about the Lean Six Sigma and DMAC method. I hope you like this session and the white belt program. I will come up with yellow belt and green belt programs very soon. Thank you so much. Keep watching. Goodbye.